I stand here today as an Iraq War veteran. I flew Apache helicopters overseas in war zones. I flew deadly missions to protect America's freedoms. But now, thanks to former President Donald Trump, Roe v. Wade is gone. It is overturned. And I also stand here as a second-class citizen in the country I fought to defend. And now there are women and families all across the country who no longer have access to those reproductive rights, regardless of their health or their futures. They do not have access to that life-saving health care. And right now, the conversation around reproductive health care is no longer between a woman and her doctor as it should be, but is rather between a woman and her elected official, as Speaker McClinton said. That's not right. And that is exactly why I'm running for Congress in Pennsylvania's 1st District. Because just like Donald Trump, our representative, Brian Fitzpatrick, wants to take away women's reproductive rights. He wants to get in there in that conversation between a woman and her doctor and tell us what we can or cannot do with our own bodies. And all week, Brian has been running from the press when they've been trying to ask him, are you going to meet with Donald Trump while he's here in your community? And I'll be clear, regardless of whether he meets with Trump or whether he endorses Trump, we know he agrees with Trump. It's in his record. Whether it's voting for a 20-week abortion ban or voting against protecting a woman's right to choose at the federal level, which in fact, he voted against that bill, the Women's Health Protection Act, after the Dobbs decision. So after we lost Roe v. Wade, it doesn't matter. He's anti-choice. And in fact, both Brian Fitzpatrick and Donald Trump consistently say, well, let's leave it up to the states. Sure, I was in the Army. I couldn't choose which state I was stationed in, just like every other soldier out there. And we'll walk through some of my duty stations. My very first one was in Alabama.
Yeah.
My very second one was in Texas.
Oh my gosh.
I think we can all see where I'm going with this one. And so when we look at what Brian Fitzpatrick and Donald Trump are trying to do, they are trying to take away access to life-saving reproductive health care from military members and their families. That is a damn way to repay their sacrifice to our country. And I am so proud to be standing here today alongside Speaker McClinton and Congresswoman Dean and Scanlon, who are all women who are fighting to protect our reproductive rights and fighting back against anti-choice extremists in the Pennsylvania state legislature and against Trump's clowns in Congress. We have a saying in the military, and it's, I've got your six. And it came about in World War I, where fighter pilots were letting each other know, we've got your backs when things get tricky. And right now, the fight for reproductive rights in this country and the attacks on them, these attacks are real and present dangers. And so standing alongside all these phenomenal women, and then of course alongside President Joe Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, they have my back and I have yours. And I so look forward to working alongside all of them as we work to flip Pennsylvania's first blue. Thank you all.
You're very